The Mastering UK is officially back as last night and Saturday night was a double night premiere where we met Group A and B for 2 nights, one night in a row, 2 nights in a row basically, and it was an action packed week. So many great performances. I really enjoyed it, and I think this season could be off to a solid start once we hear some of the contestants. I think building up their confidence, but we've got a lot to talk about for this week for the Saturday's episode of meeting Group A. So let's get straight into the video. So yes, the Mastering UK is officially back. As like I mentioned, the weekend, last night and Saturday, we met all the singers. We met Group A, which we're going to talk about today, and Group B last night, which I'll do on Tuesday tomorrow. We met them, which was awesome, and I think this is an interesting group because there are some guesses I do have and some I'm not too sure on, but I got guesses regardless, and I tried to connect some clues together. But we're going to give it a go, and I'm looking forward to this upcoming series because I do think some singers in the competition are definitely holding back their voice for later on, and so which like I mentioned, I will talk about in tomorrow's recap and review. But yeah, that's really, and also Britain's Got Talent. The auditions for BGT 2025 are actually continuing tomorrow. So we should get the series in about towards the end of February because that's the day that it ends. Well, it starts actually. My best guess is the 22nd because the final will be on the 15th. So it would make sense, I think, to have it on the that day. At least I think so. At least I think it's the 15th or something. I'll Google it later, but I'm pretty sure they will have the BGT premiere after the Masked Singer. And it's interesting they're doing it in February as well this year, which I find it quite interesting. But I won't complain because BGT is one of my favourite shows I do outside the Masked Singer. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to doing it. And now the Mastering UK is back, and since I love doing my recap and reviews for the Mastering season 12, I decided to do it again here. So you know, I've decided to do it again, and I actually briefly said some of my guesses on my recent episode of the Mastering reviews on Instagram. If you want to check it out, it's just on my Instagram. I was joined by Ed Reacts and the Mars Central. We went over our guesses, some of the clues, and we tried our best. But tonight I'm going to share you my guesses and give my thoughts on the performance. So we actually had a group performance tonight. Being the Spice Girls, so I can't remember who it was already, but we heard all the singers sing. I couldn't quite tell, who they were because in a group performance you only hear them for like 5 seconds, and that's really it. So it wasn't very handy for me. But sorry about that. But regardless, I think we're gonna get straight into the video, and we'll talk about the everything, and I'll talk about the unmasked contestant we had because it was a cliffhanger actually, which we'll get into in a bit. But anyways, let's get into straight into the video, and let's talk about Teeth. And can I just say what a great costume this is? It's just such a goofy costume. It just makes me laugh so much, and how the mouth moves as well is too funny as well. So they performed "Is This the Way to Amarillo?" And if you don't know that song, it's basically the song to where Peter Kay did that comic relief video, which I'm sure everyone has seen by now. But I thought it was a really fun performance. She really bodied the character, and I just thought it was it was a really fun performance. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. It was just like really fun. Like I'm leaning towards a sports player by some of the clues I got here, which I'll get to now. So Davina actually mentioned Alex Scott, and I didn't think that was a bad shout, but I was actually thinking someone who has been rated, who has done sports and football. Well, not necessarily football player, but she's done commentary. And my guess for Teeth is Gabby Logan. Now, I know this might be a stretch, but I got some clues here. I tried to connect. So we saw the bus coach, and she has been a commentator for football on BBC Sports, and believe it or not. And then she mentioned that I know just how to tackle, which is another reference to football. Again, she's commentary on it. We saw now. This is where it gets interesting because we saw I saw the oranges in the basket, and I had to Google this, and I found this, and she actually wore a vibrant orange suit in support of muscular dystrophy. I can't pronounce it. UK. So some sort of charity, and she wore that, and that was just something kind of, you know. And the map, and she is and the map with the binoculars. I don't think she's done like exploring, but she has been around the world. Like she's been to Brazil for the World Cup, she's been to Monaco for the European Athletic Championships. So it's only week one. Again, these could always change over time. By the way, this isn't all the clues. These are just some of the clues I've managed to find. I've tried to find. But let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with my guess? Do you have a different guess for T? Because I've definitely seen different names over. I've seen Jodie Whittaker. I've seen um so it's interesting, but again, this is just week one. This could very well change. We're actually seeing Group B on Saturday as well, believe it or not, and I have a solid feeling why, but I'll explain that a little bit later on. Okay, so let's talk about Snail. So the Snail performed actually did. Is that for a bit different? Okay, no, I'm just playing. My mind was playing tricks on me. But Snail, she performed Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. I wasn't too familiar with the song. I mean, I don't really watch. I think that's one of her big hits that went to like number one, like about 4 or 5 weeks in a row. Like goodness gracious. But I do think this is a singer holding back, and this is the thing. I think most of the singers in this season are holding back their voice, which I think is smart. But this one, when connecting the clues together, it literally hit me on who this is. I am 100% confident it is Andrea Corr from The Cause, who are an Irish group, by the way. And let's go through the clues. So we saw the wedding rings, and her engagement ring famously actually costs 70,000 euros, which is like a lot of money, I have to say. Now the next one here, I actually picked. I don't think anyone else has picked up on that the chance to perform on The Masked Singer was irresistible. The Cause have the exact same song title called in Irresistible. So I don't know why I stopped there. Now the baby in the basket, she has been known to be the baby of the group, and I think I did kind of miss that. I didn't necessarily think of that because I know she's a mother, if I remember correctly. And I don't know if it was in the riddle, but she mentioned that my mind can sometimes be up in space, and the Cause have a song called or an album called Jupiter's Calling. So with all these clues there, I am confident it's the one and only Andrea Corr. I'm 100% certain of that. So the tattoo now. The tattoo was the kind of the trickiest one for me. And by the way, but first off, she performed "Murder on the Dance Floor" by Sophie Ellis-Bextor, an all-time classic, who was the alien back in series two, and she was the first one actually, first one out, believe it or not. Sophie Ellis-Bextor. I feel like because she really disguised her voice, maybe that's why. Because I know she's a really good singer, and I gotta give props to her for hiding her voice like that, you know. But okay, so tattoo. Now this is a bit of a stretch here because I haven't got too many clues here. But I'm gonna give my guess anyway because So I was listening to the voice, and I know this might be a bit. It might seem a bit obvious. I mean, I don't think it's fully this person, but my guess is Shaznay Lewis from All Saints. And so firstly, let's get the thing out of the way. So we saw that as you can see, the costume, it has the word love on there, and All Saints have a song called "Love Lasts Forever." And the Natalie Appleton, there was a photo of Natalie Appleton. Of course, they're both from All Saints. I couldn't connect the clues like the crown. I don't know if they performed at the Royal Variety. I don't know, like the Robin Hood. Have they done a song to Robin Hood's soundtrack or something? I'm not like it's clues like that. I'm really just my mind just boggled on that. Like I'm not very confident on this guess. Like I don't think it is Shaznay Lewis, but just I just connect those clues and made me think of Shaz's neighbor. I guess that's my best guess at the moment. Like for me, it's a bit difficult. This one, but we'll definitely find out as the series comes along. Maybe the clues will start. Coming to me like, oh well, yeah, it's this person. I'll probably look online who I think people who think Tattoo is. And then we have next performance we had was the Kingfisher who performed Rainbow Connection. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I personally thought he was going to be a little bit better than he wasn't the type of singer I was hoping to be. Like I honestly thought he was going to have this like soulful voice, something like Anteater, aka John Oates. But I will say it was actually a nice performance. Like I don't think it's a professional singer per se, but he could definitely carry a tune. It was a really nice performance actually. I really enjoyed it. So my guess for Kingfisher, and I was listening to the voice again, and when I start connecting the clues, the more I think about. Okay, actually, I'm gonna get to my original guess because I had two guesses. So but the first one I initially thought of one of the costume clues. So my original guess was for Kingfisher was Shane Ritchie because the blue moon there was a moon with like a little photo of a moon on his dungarees, and Shane Ritchie plays Alfie Moon in EastEnders, and there was Harry in the clue package, and Harry Mitchell was a character is a character in EastEnders, but listening to the performance, it sounded nothing like Shane Ritchie. Because Shane Ritchie he can sing, like he actually can sing. He's actually a really talented singer. He had that hit song "I'm Your Man," and he did he did a version of Beyond the Sea for Children in Need, so I think if Shane Ritchie were to do the show, I felt I could recognize his voice vaguely. Like I know he's a really good singer, but Kingfisher for me is more of a decent singer. He hasn't got the strongest voice, but he's a very good entertainer. But of course, he could definitely develop his voice way more once the competition comes in. But my guess for now, Davina said Paul Whitehouse, but I'm actually thinking it's the opposite. I'm thinking this is this is one of the guesses I'm really confident on actually, and that is Bob Mortimer from Mortimer and Whitehouse. Now and then connecting the clues here, it just makes perfect sense. So there were so many fishing clues throughout the VT, like the rod, the net, the fishing net, and Bob Mortimer and Paul Whitehouse have a or they have a show called Mortimer and Whitehouse Gone Fishing. So that's the show they did together. The map, because they've traveled, the map was there from point A to point B. They've travelled all around the UK for their show. And now a clue that I don't think many people might get. The dog treats. There was dog treats, and they actually they had a dog on the series called Ted, and they basically had a dog called Ted. On Mortimer and Whitehouse's Gone Fishing is based like a companion, I guess, and the radio because Bob Mortimer has been on BBC Radio a few times. So those were some of the clues I was able to get. But yeah, but I'm very confident at the moment. It's Bob Mortimer, I mean, hearing the voice again, I'm very confident it's not Shane Ritchie. It's definitely not Shane Ritchie, even though I want him to do the show so badly. But for me, he's like the Jamie Foxx, but for the UK because I don't think because Shane Ritchie's been guest so many times before, and yeah, and he hasn't came on yet, so I don't know, but I'm pretty confident it's Bob Mortimer. All right, and did we forget about I forgot about I forgot about the Spagball. Because I put Spagball here, but I accidentally deleted the image. Oh, I'm such a numpty. I'm such a fool. Okay, so we'll talk about her. So we're gonna go back quickly and talk about her quickly. So Spagball's over there. So Spagball, she was the one who was sent home. She performed the Jerry. What was that song she did? I can't remember. I'm gonna get that up quickly because if I can find it, of course. Um, if I can find it, to find quickly. It's on. I'm on Telemix, by the way, folks. So if you're wondering, she performed "Look at Me" by Jerry Halliwell. It was a okay performance. It wasn't the best of the night, to be honest. You know, but it was actually Kate Garraway, which I would never would have gotten. Um, I was leaning towards, like, I noticed the hiking boots and the hiking stick, the walking boots and the hiking stick, and that made me think of like outdoor nature, wildlife, and that made me think of Michaela Strachan because she's done many TV shows um on like TV related to kind of like show she's done. What are the shows she's done? The Real Wide Show and Spring Watch. Those are the shows I know her for. But I don't think it's her. I mean, I didn't. I thought I was. That was for my first decent guess of the night. Because I was just that those clues made me think of Michaela Strachan, but so I was wrong. It was Kate Garraway, which I'm not gonna lie. I think she seems fine, but she was not the best singer. But she, I'm gonna give props to her for doing the show. God bless her. And so yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go to Dress Crab. So I'm just gonna click on through. Okay, so Dress Crab, definitely one of the best ones of the night for sure. For me, he was definitely one of the best ones of the night. Like, I think personally, I really like Tattoo's performance, but the Dress Crab was really, really, really fantastic. Like the soul in his voice is just amazing. It's absolute. He so much soul is in his voice. It's absolutely wonderful. Um, and he performed "Lean on Me" by Billy Withers, which is a great song as well. I mean, I've been wanting to see this song performed on the show since the banana on the US when Bret Michaels performed it, and he made that song his own. Bret Michaels, I really liked it when he did that song, and the production, the stage and the production he did for it was amazing, and and I remember, I just thought he was fantastic, but this was just incredible as well. The soul in his voice is just amazing. So I was originally thinking Billy Porter, but the voice, definitely doesn't sound like Billy Porter anymore. I had an initial guess of Seal. I know that sounds a bit of a stretch, but you know, the helmet. He's performed at the Super Bowl, etc. But I just feel like, but there is one name that came to mind, and it was what Mo said, and I was like, oh my goodness, that totally makes sense, and I think it's Gregory Porter, and this is definitely the type of costume I think he'd be. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised he hasn't done the Masked Singer US, to be honest, because he's extremely talented. Anyway, so the dress crab. Okay, so as I mentioned, now we had the American football helmet. Now this for me could be for two reasons. Number one, because he wears a hat, as you can see, but also he actually played American football at university, which I thought was so cool. He said he's never out of fashion. He has a song called "In Fashion," and he mentioned that my work has lit up the UK, and he performed at the Platinum Jubilee, like basically lighting up the Jubilee ceremony. So that's the connection I've made, and the voice just screams Gregory Porter, like, and the flamboyant, the soul man in his voice is very, very good. So with all these clues coming together, my guess is Gregory Porter. So those are my guesses for Group A, and I think out of them, Kingfisher and Dress Crab are the ones I'm the most confident on. So yeah, but I mean, Kingfisher could be and also Snail as well. Snail, Kingfisher, and Dress Crab are the ones I'm very confident on. So yeah, so that's really it. So that's today's episode one for the Mastering UK. Completely done. Basically, that's all there is to it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A great. I would say I wouldn't say it was one of the strongest premieres in my opinion, but it was still really good nonetheless. Oh, excuse me. tired. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely. But it was a good episode regardless. I really enjoyed it. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing Group B. I do have a guess. I do have some pretty strong guesses actually for Group B, and one of them I thought of within it's like these were one of the first clues I managed to pick up together. But that's all for this. That's all there is to it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tune in tomorrow for episode 2's recap and review if you want to see it. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe with the post notifications turned on. I would really appreciate that. But thank you so much for watching this video. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.